Hey everybody, let me plug in this microphone and see if it works. Microphone's plugged in. It's windy today, and what we're going to do is I'm going to demo for the first time, because I've never used it yet either. I'm going to demo the mobile chicken coop. You can see the chicks are 6 weeks old now, so they're in there running around, but I need to move them. So I've already showed this coop to you guys before, but I've never showed it in action. Whenever I do the actual demo, I'm going to have to unplug the microphone, and I'm just going to put the tripod up and make sure it works good. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to show you this little wheel here. I put on here. If I can show you a little closer, there's other videos that are not live, but you can see I put a bolt through here, and then as a spacer I put a little 2x4 block, and the same thing back here. I put a 2x4 block, and then I put a bolt through this wheel. I'm just not sure if this wheel is going to be big enough to haul it, but we're going to see. So the way this works is I can use my foot to press this down, and it raises the wheel up. And let me see here, see if I can get this in here. It's hard to do it with one hand. Actually, let me start. Wow. Let me see if I can make it go in there a little better. Well, it's in. Wheel looks a little bit weak. I don't know if this is going to pop out while I'm, because this bolt will go all the way through, but it's harder for me to do it with just one hand while I'm filming. All right, so I also have a really bad connection, so I apologize. There's the back of it. I had it covered up with tarps. That's what that pile of junk is over there. And you can see some of them have a few little blank spots on their back still from when they were molting a couple of weeks ago. But we're going to do the same thing here. The chicken coop is on the ground now, and when I drop this down like this, the chicken coop rises. So I got a little hole pre-drilled already in here. I'll just hammer it in with my hand there. All right, that's gonna have to do for now. All right, now the other thing I did was, if you look back in there, you can see I moved their stuff to the back of the coop because I'm gonna be pushing it that way. So we're just gonna leave that open. All right, I'm gonna set up the tripod, and like I said, I'm gonna have to disconnect from my microphone to move this while the tripod's set up, but hopefully you'll get a good show of how this works. But it's just barely off the ground, as you can see right there, and hopefully that'll keep them from trying to escape while I'm moving it. And the other thing I'm worried about is if they're going to try to get run over by accident. They wouldn't be trying to. Let's see if I can get my, well, this tripod has been a piece of junk for a while, but one thing about it, I don't waste junk. If I can make it work, I make it work. All right, stay in there. There it goes. All right, now if the wind will cooperate, I want to give you guys a good show. I still don't have any viewers, but that's fine, because this is obviously an experiment with YouTube Live. But oh, I also put those perches in there. I don't know if I've showed you all the perches since I put those in there. They're just 1x2s, 8 feet long, that I ran along the inside there. Actually, before I do this, let's go ahead and go inside for a little tour. This will scare them a little bit, but all right, we just moved that. Look down in here, sun's kind of blinding us. But there's the perch. There's the 6-week-old birds. Well, it's Saturday now. Could be 6.5 weeks old. But as you can see, their water and feed is in the back because we're gonna move this all that way. So let me latch them in. And then there's always big chickens that are trying to get in there with them because they want to get some of the leavings that they leave behind, because little birds are a little pickier than big birds. Big birds, they already know whatever they can get their hands on, they'll get it. Well, claws or talons, whatever they can get their talons on, that's what they'll do. All right, I'm gonna set this up in the best spot I can. Try to make this angle as good as possible. I do see that it's sideways a little bit, but we're just gonna move it that way. Doggone it. This thing, I'll tell you what. Okay. All right, so I'm unplugging from the mic now, and then watch as I move it, see if it works out. All right. Okay. I don't know how good you guys could see that. Hopefully you could. It looked kind of silly to me because I don't know if my wheels are big enough yet, but then at the end, I actually pushed it from the top and it worked way better. So I'm gonna try it one more time next time I move. As you can see, let me move in here a little better. You can see we've moved it to where the eating stuff was at the back and now it's at the front. So it made it, but we got into a spot where we did kind of go down in a little hole here. But also you can kind of see I'm out of breath. So that's not good. I don't really want to have to be putting in actual hard work when I do this, but these wheels are kind of tilted out. And I think part of it is I need some spacers. If you can look right there, I need some spacers on that so that they won't wobble so much. And it's even worse on this side over here where we're going. This one's wobbled out pretty bad. And so it's the same thing. It just needs spacers, I believe. And it's probably also a little easier on the wood if we if we get some, you know, like just probably 4 or 5 washers and put them on there. But I'm still pleased with this build. If it becomes a problem, I'll probably just get bigger wheels. And the way this system is set up, if you want to build one, there's some lessons on YouTube on other channels about it, but then there's also, it's not as complicated as it looks. I'll go over this again real quick. You're connected right here all the way through. So this bolt where my foot is goes through this board, goes through that spacer board there, and then it goes into the coop on the other side through this board right here that runs along the coop. And then I bolted it in on the other side of the coop. And then this bolt right here is just our connector, and the wheel itself is the pivot point. So when I disconnect, actually I'm going to do that now. Let me disconnect from the, oh, we may have lost our connection here now. Okay. All right, we lost our connection for a second. But anyway, this wheel just bolts in right here into this board, which this is why I was saying I need some spacers. And so it's in solid place. It's not going anywhere, but it will spin. So when I drop it down, it's just sitting right there now. But when I push down on this thing right here, you can see it's going to rise up a little. You can see that rises up. So then I just take this little bolt here and put it in that hole, and it goes down into that and all the way through. And then we have the rise that we need to roll. And so now the chickens are on some fresh grass. If worse comes to worse, if these wheels wear out, then I just get bigger wheels. It doesn't matter if you use bigger wheels for the most part. You'd have to go up a pretty good size from here to cause a problem. Let me see if this will, but it was nice showing you guys this, and I see some places where I can make some improvements. Anybody who's got some suggestions, go ahead and send them over if you want. But sorry about the bad connection on here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.